These PowerBlock dumbbells have been in my home gym for 13 years, and they're great. But given the new competition, would I still buy them today? See, the hardest part of building your home gym isn't necessarily picking gear, but it's finding stuff that actually lasts. So in this video, I'm breaking down 3 reasons why the PowerBlocks might be a perfect long-term fit. I've had these since I was 16, tested them through every workout style imaginable, and in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly where they excel and where they fall flat, and the competition might just be better. In 2012, I bought my PowerBlocks from somebody on Craigslist for $100, and it was the best purchase I made as a 16-year-old. It was at the peak of the hype around P90X, and I was pretty obsessed with their program. But there was one big problem. As a testosterone-fueled 16-year-old, I was gaining strength quickly with newbie gains, and I was moving up to the 50-pound weight capacity way too quickly with certain lifts. But it turns out that this wasn't an issue at all, and I didn't learn about this until recently, but you can actually expand to 70 pounds and to 90 pounds with the PowerBlock EXP Elite. These are older, so these are a max of 50 pounds. But the newer versions actually expand. So what it would look like is this bar here, you would have a gap on this bottom section here, and you have room to add 70 pounds, which would add 2 more of these hooks, and then 90 pounds would add the last 2 to make it the full expansion. So when you do max out certain exercises, such as bench press, and you want to go heavier, you'll have that option to add an extra 40 pounds. They're also built to last. Even after all the workouts I've done, the wear and tear on them is mostly in the colors peeling off. So this one right here, it only has the white, yellow, and blue left. There's no more color for the rest of them. This one has half of the red and blue, the yellow, some of the purple, and the white. So the colors have peeled off over time, but it's not a huge deal. It's kind of just something that helps you figure out what weight you're using. But after having them for so long, you'll know exactly which one is going to be what weight. But just because your dumbbells go heavy doesn't mean they're actually enjoyable to lift. As I've gotten stronger over the years, one of my least favorite things has been getting the dumbbells off the ground and onto my thighs to get in position to press. Like so, especially when I realize that not all dumbbells are created equal. Some of them are going to feel a lot better when they're resting on your thighs, and that's going to depend because some dumbbells have flat ends like the PowerBlock where it's completely flat, whereas other ones have a little bit of a rounded shape. These are just KP adjustable dumbbells here. So some of them are a little bit more rounded, and even like fixed dumbbells, they're flat, but they do have a little bit of rounded edges on them as well. The reason that this is a big difference is because of the surface area. So if you look at this fixed dumbbell here, it's got a lot smaller of a surface area versus the PowerBlock here. And that is going to make a big difference as you go heavier, because the less surface area, the more pressure that is putting on your thighs. So as you go up heavier in weight, as you get to 70, 80, 90 pounds, you're putting more pressure in that smaller area on your thighs, so it's not as comfortable. So I prefer having ones that have the biggest surface area, because as you get heavier and heavier, it's not going to be putting all that pressure in one spot. It's actually spreading out across a bigger area on your thigh. Now I have all different kinds of dumbbells, including these Eisenlink, and these Eisenlink are flat except for the actual knobs that keep the plates in place, which is a smaller surface area. So these, as I approach the max weight of 80 pounds, it's going to put a lot more pressure because this is a lot smaller of a surface area. And then I also have these fader runs, which are basically a similar version of the Bowflex adjustable dumbbells, which I have as well, which these have a knob. And the knob is the surface area that you're going to be putting on your thighs. So this is smaller as well, similar to the Eisenlink. And another big difference is the PowerBlocks are a lot more compact. This goes up to 52.5 pounds, and it's the same length no matter if I'm using 5 pounds or 52.5 pounds. And then the side by side with the PowerBlock, you can see how much more compact this PowerBlock is, which is one of my favorite things, because when you're pressing it, which I'll show you, it's not going to hit when you bring your arms together. You're going to get that full range of motion. So let's go ahead and show you. I'm going to use both, even though they're different weights. So With this one, you're gonna hit your hands together a lot sooner than you're gonna hit the power blocks. So your hands would come together and probably hit, so you might need to turn your wrists a little bit in order to get that full range of motion. So it's just like a small thing, but I really prefer having a compact dumbbell because with the expansions as well, it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's still going to pale in comparison to like this one right here. Just to show you how much more compact the power blocks are, this is them next to these Core Fitness, which are also 50 pounds, and then next to these Fader Runs, which are even bigger at 52.5 pounds. You can just see how much more compact they are side by side. So that's one of my favorite things about them. So these Fader Runs here, you can see the surface area is much smaller, and these are hurting my thighs at only 52.5 pounds. So the surface area makes a huge difference. So I want to show you the different sizes of the surface areas here. So I have the Eisenlink, the Fader Run, Core Fitness, and the PowerBlock. Now these three are all at 50 pounds. This one's at 52.5. Eisenlink can go up to 80 pounds, but the surface area for the Eisenlink is this pin right here that you use to adjust the weights. So this area is a lot smaller versus the PowerBlock. Like this one is definitely the largest out of all of them. It's about the same size as this Fader Run. I was using these and there was so much pressure on my thighs from these right here. And so just like I've been saying, the surface area makes a huge difference. This Core Fitness is actually the smallest surface area with this circle right here, but it's only on these outer plates. So if you were to do like 40 pounds or less, you're not gonna have this on it, but it's still gonna be this line right here. So it's not quite as big of a surface area as this. It's not completely flat. So still with this one, it's not gonna be as comfortable as a flat surface like the power blocks. These power block are almost as compact as both of these 25-pound adjustable dumbbells. This is the Life Pro and the KP, and you can see side by side, they're about the same length. This one's probably the shortest just by a little bit, but very, very close. Okay, they're comfortable, but if you're like most home gym owners, you're probably running out of room. About 2 years ago, I started building a home gym as I started to go on my weight loss journey. I really wanted to get fixed dumbbells just to have a rack with all different dumbbells like you'd see at a gym. I thought it'd be so nice and cool to just go grab whatever I was using. This ended up being a huge mistake in my opinion because they were really expensive, took up so much space, and caused a huge mess with dumbbells laying all over the place. I will probably sell all of these fixed dumbbells over time because they aren't necessary when you have adjustable dumbbells like these. Look at how much space these take up, these fixed dumbbells. So I only have a 5, 15, 30, 40, 25, and 60. So I'm missing a 10, a 20, a 35, and a 45, and it still takes up so much more space than this power block that goes from 5 to 50. I also have a 60-pound dumbbell that I just wanted to show side by side so you can see how much bigger this is than the 50 pounds of power block. So this takes up more space than this. If I got the expansions here, it might be like this big, and then you're comparing that with, I have 70s, 80s, and 90s as well. So those are gonna be much bigger, take up much more space versus this right here. Not only do adjustable dumbbells like the PowerBlock save you space, but they also keep your gym looking more tidy. If you're anything like me, it's much easier to just drop fixed dumbbells after you use them and leave them wherever you have them. So in the garage, I have dumbbells all over the ground because as I'm doing curls or anything, I'll just drop them and leave them there for my next set to pick them up. Whereas if I'm using adjustable dumbbells like the power blocks, I always put them back in their cradle because it's just easier to change the weights and stuff like that after you're done. So that's the biggest difference with the fixed dumbbells. I'll just drop them after I'm done with my set versus the adjustable dumbbells. I'll actually take them and put them in their cradle so that you can adjust the weights after a lot easier. And it just keeps your gym looking a lot more clean. Bonus tip, you can do all different types of exercises with them. So despite it being over a decade and the fact that I'd have to pay 3 to 4x what I paid for them back then, I'd definitely purchase PowerBlocks again in 2025. These are one of my most used dumbbells to date, and they will always earn a spot in my home gym. But before you go and purchase some PowerBlocks, I actually compared them to 7 of the most popular adjustable dumbbells that are available on Amazon. So go watch that video next to see how they stack up to the rest.